antidepressants. I mean, I remember, I don't know what book I was reading. I mean, I read 100 books, but it was like the side effects is suicidal tendencies. And, when I kind of saw it, I was like, so like, unfortunately, the way there's a lot of people living in fear at the moment, and even financially and everything, it leads to depression. And with the 4 years of craziness that we had all taken out of our lives, there was so much fighting going on in house, just because one partners weren't used to spending so much time together, or else they had different belief systems. And then a lot of people then started going on to the depression tablets. So maybe just finally, you might just touch on that, like that, the dangers of kind of antidepressants.
Well, before I decided to be a physical therapist, because I love biochemistry, I'm really good at organic chemistry. There's no calculators, you just draw pictures. So I was thinking of being a pharmacist. So I did some shadowing at a compounding pharmacy in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And it was I spent one afternoon there. I couldn't believe how many people were on Xanax. Like, that's the benzodiazepine that's for anti-anxiety. Like, unbelievable amounts of Xanax. And yeah, there's a lot of antidepressants too. Antidepressant use goes up for women as they go through menopause because, like I said, doctors are not trained in menopause, and they don't realize the interrelationship between hormones and brain chemistry. So when hormones are not properly managed, the brain chemicals fluctuate. So a woman feels like she's going crazy, and the doctor's like, oh, it's all in your head, and they just slap on an antidepressant, but that's not getting the root cause. I do, like I said, I do urine panels of brain chemistry. So I see a lot of brains, and I can see the effects of long-term poor nutrition, lack of vitamin and mineral deficiency. So your brain needs certain vitamins, certain minerals, and it needs to have certain enzymes producing things in order to make these brain chemicals. So just taking an antidepressant doesn't address the root cause. I help people get off antidepressants. Like, for example, I mean, they all have side effects. And I had this woman who, she was in her 60s, and she'd been on this antidepressant since she was 50 because the doctor gave it to her when she went into menopause because he didn't know what to do with her. But she was getting all the side effects, and it was supposed to be a serotonin and norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor, and it was doing nothing for her norepinephrine. Like, she still felt awful, wasn't getting the results she wanted, but she was getting the side effects. So we titrated down slowly. Like a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, that's a lot easier to titrate off of. When you do serotonin and norepinephrine, it can be a little tricky. So I offer on my phone, I have a WhatsApp channel just for my coaching clients. And sometimes I have to talk to them like 2-3 times a day as they're pulling off of these antidepressants and replacing it with vitamins and minerals and high doses of just natural substances. But it can be done, and that addresses the root cause, because the root cause is, your genetics load the gun, but your environment and your lifestyle pulls the trigger. So if we can look at the genetics and then adjust the lifestyle, we can kind of reverse that and help people feel better naturally without all the side effects. The big thing with SSRIs is, not being able to have an orgasm, and that's pretty horrible way to live. Like, I don't know, it's probably one of the best gifts that God gave us. So to not have that in itself is depressing to me. I don't know about you, but yeah. So the main thing is that they're just slapping a Band-Aid on a symptom and not looking at the root cause.